Wolfgang Schoor, the man behind the Schoor grip hammer. When I first came into your home, Wolfgang, the first thing I noticed, there are hammers everywhere, upstairs, downstairs. There's the man. Wolfgang, tell me your earliest experience with a hammer, your earliest idea.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. That's a good question. Back in Germany, when I was a boy, after the Second World War, Germany was devastated, and you didn't have a lot. You had your life and good people, but other than that, that's all you had. You didn't have hydroelectric power, you didn't have TV, you didn't have running water, you didn't have any of that stuff. So as a child, you would be free as free can be. You would be able to explore, play like a Viking, follow the gypsies, look around. And so if you didn't play hooky at school and if you were late for supper, you do whatever the fuck you want to do, so that was a good life. Anyways, at one point I found a hammerhead that looked a lot something like this, and it had US stamped on it. And so it was from the American military, because it was controlled by the Americans, that section of Germany, West Germany at that time. So I took that hammer head and I went in the bush and I found a piece of pine limb, a branch, that and it actually had a curve on it. So if you look at pine branches, they either grow up or grow down. So that was my first ergonomic hammer handle. So I felt like the German prince. I had a hammer, and that is many years ago. That's 60 years ago.
Okay, let's fast forward.
Okay.
Today.
Okay.
You've got quite a display here. Where do you want to start?
So at some point, I started off as a jockey in Germany, but it didn't work out for me because I got heavy. One day they came and they said, "Hey, Wolfgang, you're getting fat." So I went back home, and I became, 2 days later, I was a carpenter apprentice. So I became a Tischler. And
what's a Tischler?
Tischler is a carpenter and joiner, fine woodwork tradesman. We did a little bit of mill working. That is where the mechanical inclination comes in. And 4 years later, I was a journeyman. And some years after that, I came to Canada. And I worked in the trade, in construction. However, working in Canada and working in Europe as a carpenter or Tischler, it's completely different. I couldn't speak the language, so the terminology, the glossary of terms was completely different. So I only had $30 in my pocket. So there you go. And anyways, I've worked with a hammer ever since. So to give you an idea, these are some of. Anyways, somewhere around 1979, I began documenting a structured approach to work on tools in general. Hammers is one because it's the most symbolic of them all. So I chose to study the hammers. At some point, the Innovation Center at the Lakehead University granted me a study. I think at that time it was $6,000. It was a product assessment, and they did a study, and it came back, and they said, the so-called experts said, well, a hammer is a hammer is a hammer. You can't change it. It's been like that for thousands of years, and you can't change it. There's a hammer market in Canada of 80,000 hammers a year, but you can't change it. You're silly for trying to change it. Well, I didn't believe them, and they're full of shit. Yes, they are. And they're not as smart as they think they are. They don't know that they don't know. They were not out in the field when it's 40 below. They were not out there when it's raining trying to hang on to a hammer handle, trying to hang on to a tool when your hands are cold. You can't see where the hell you're striking. You know, these are all of the things. And then you see guys say, holy fuck, I got sore hands. Oh, jeez. And I've seen them in tears. Say, oh, I just wanted to make some money so I could send my grandson to a trip. And they can't do it because the hands are sore. They have a repetitive strain injury. They have the white finger disease. They have tendonitis in the elbow, in the shoulder, bursitis in the shoulder, and it goes on and on and on. So, anyways, I set out to change it.